Gemini,
Let's see.
950 million. So that's also
But Google is
extremely,
down.
good positive update. And
Yes,
in
subscribe,
terms
give
of
like.
their at the money program in which they're looking to potentially raise equity, there's also a headline here that says they haven't actually done any of that yet. So they have the approval, they have the vehicle set up, but they haven't actually used that just yet. So as far as
Let's
the
see.
numbers go, second quarter, extremely impressive, as it typically is for Alphabet. I think the big question mark is going to be in reference to what this guidance looking forward for CapEx is going to be. And
CapEx,
you see
capital
the
expenditure.
stock now, if it was just reacting to the numbers, I think it would have held the rally. So it's under
Let's
a
see
little
here.
bit of pressure here as we get more of that. They do also post their second quarter gain on equity securities, almost $100
Yes, you can
million.
open
And we
simulated
know,
account. Subscribe, give
one of
like.
those
Yes.
big
Let's
investments
see.
is in private held shares of Anthropic. And as that continues to get marked up higher and higher, that's a huge boon for Alphabet. Not only is it a competitor to its Gemini, but it's also an opportunity for it, given it was an early investor. So
Too bad it
I
down.
see nothing but impressive things here, but I was expecting impressive for Alphabet. It's going to come down to, does the street buy the story they're selling? And so far, no, they're not.
Yeah, so far we're down about 2% here. I mean, you highlighted the Google Cloud
231.
revenue being so important, coming in better than
It's terrible.
expectations, up 82% year over year.
Do you
when
have
look
Google
at that metric.
stocks?
Also, those Gemini numbers important. They're disclosing there's 950 million monthly active users, and they did increase the CapEx. I had many conversations about they have to increase it. How much they increase it by is sort of where the question mark comes. They did increase it. It did come in even higher than the expectation here. They're also disclosing their cloud backlog right now.
And let's see
$14 billion
TXN.
here as we're looking at that number,
TXN.
saying everything's growing at a healthy clip. So, Alex, guidance, the big story here. What else are we going to hear asked on the
Texas
call?
Instruments.
Yeah, I think it's going to be,
Down
I
as
don't know how
well.
you can phrase this, but this is why the analysts are on these calls and not me. But getting the team at Alphabet to be able to like roll out the roadmap for, okay, you're spending all this money, you've depleted free cash flow, you have this at the money facility to raise capital if you need it. CapEx continues to not only ramp up, but it exceeds what you anticipate it's going to be. It exceeds what the street's going to be. Your stock has started to go down. They're not going to maybe add that in, but I mean, that's a big part of the story. Shareholders are going to want to see why this makes sense for them, because it's all great when Alphabet shares go from 300 to 400, but when they go back from 400 to 330, it's less great. And so the
Nobody
questions
likes
are
it,
being
yes.
asked when the party ends. And when you look
Yes,
at it
hello,
in
hello
this
everyone.
case,
Subscribe, give like to this video.
my big question mark is
We
going to be, and I even
discussed
see some of the statements
Apple
from
earnings
Sundar and
report.
team. It's all
Did you invest?
around, hey, look at all these tokens we're generating. Look at all the users we have.
Let's see.
I don't know that that's enough of a selling point. I think it's going to be,
Cash
okay,
secure
that's great,
report.
but
You
how
can
are you
use
monetizing
simulated
those
account
users?
paper.
'Cause
Trade.
as far as I know, I've used Gemini. They don't charge me any money. So it's a great growth engine, but it's free for me. So it can't be free
Let's
for
see.
them. 'Cause
Subscribe,
it seems
give like
pretty
to this video.
impressive, and they have 950 million people that are logging on this. That just sounds like expense.
Take a look.
Yeah, it certainly is.
It was
I
up
want
and
to quickly
down.
jump back to TXN, just since they
Let's
are
see.
an important part of this semiconductor conversation, and we bounced away from them quickly. Buzz through those numbers. The
Let's
EPS
see
coming in much
TXN.
better than expected, $2.
Yes, subscribe, give like to this video.
Estimates
Earnings
looking for
report.
$1.93. Revenue at $5.46 billion, up 23% year over
You see
year, better than the
aftermarket.
expectations by about $200 million. Analog revenue up 26% year over year, also beating expectations. As we're looking across their CapEx, though, it's down 61% year over year. The estimate was looking for $676.3 million. They're calling it $514 million now. So, Alex, as I'm looking at this move to the downside here of 3.5%, while the numbers are arguably good, and I'm looking at their forecasting, revenue is now better than what the street was looking for, $5.65 billion to $6.15. Is the CapEx number the concern here?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is the situation where this trade is deflating a bit. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just some of these names have had big run-ups. If it's just solely off the numbers are really impressive from Texas Instruments. You see the current quarter guide. The low end of their range for revenue is exceeding the street's midpoint estimate. So I'm not going to poke in on the numbers. I think the thing is, and we've talked about this before with semiconductors in particular, this is no longer a surprise. In my mind,
And
like,
let's see
exceeding
TXM.
and beating
Yeah,
the
subscribe, give like to this
expectations
video.
is
What
almost
stock
baseline
did you
now. We
invest?
talked about Broadcom, when we got it last earnings
Let's see
season towards the
TXM.
end, and it was like
See.
the numbers
And
beat
Google
everything,
right
but it
now.
was like, oh, your guidance only grew by
Yes. Chat is open.
1.5 billion
Say
instead
hello
of
in
2
chat.
billion, and it was like that's not enough. And so the same thing
Let's
goes
see
to
VO.
say here in my mind is this is an impressive company. The numbers are good.
If you don't
but the
know
street already
where
knew
to
that
invest,
going in, and then it's a
VO
matter of
is very good.
what continues to raise the bar. And
Chat is
exceed
open,
that
yes.
and generate
Put your
excitement.
questions in chat.
Text instruments, not to say that they're not impressive, and again, I say it because they are. I don't know that there's anything exciting in it.
All
Yes,
right, well,
VO.
down 3%, a little bit more than 3% on the heels of
And
those
let's
numbers.
see
Alphabet's
again.
starting to reverse course, though. We're only down 0.5% now. Want to pivot over to Tesla, though, also
Google.
in the red here, down more than 2% on these numbers, which we'll go through
Google went down,
right now.
went
As
up.
we look at their EPS, it's coming in at 33 cents. The expectation on a non-GAAP basis
Yes,
was
subscribe,
about
give
50
like to
cents,
these
so
videos.
I'm guessing this is the GAAP number where we were looking for about 36 cents. Either way,
Let's
it's
see
a
Tesla
miss.
report.
As we look at revenue coming in at 28.24 billion, the estimate was looking for 26.32. So we've got a beat there. Gross margins coming in a little lower than expected as well, 16.8%. The estimate was looking for 19.4. As we look at their automotive revenue for the second quarter, 20.52 billion. Far better than the expectation for 18.68.
Let's
so
see
they
Tesla.
are turning those orders into profitability. Here comes that full self-driving subscription. This is what I was talking to Dave Nicholson from Future about and how important this is. Active
and
FSD
sideways.
subscriptions, 1.48 million. That is better than the 1.4 million the street was looking for. Not by a lot, though. Services and other revenue coming in at 1.58 billion. The estimate was looking for 3.72, so much better than expected. And energy, the wild card here that surprised to the upside for the last couple quarters, not surprising to the upside this quarter. Energy generation and storage revenue at 3.14 billion. The estimate was looking for 3.77. So Alex, as we look at these numbers, we already knew the auto deliveries. Dave Nicholson was just telling me don't even call it an EV company anymore because China already won that race. This is all about FSD and robo-taxi updates and all of the above. But they are saying now we're getting some commentary here. I want to just read in here before battery pack capacity remaining a limiting factor here. They are installing first-gen lines for Optimus at their Fremont factory, which we wanted to know more about Optimus. They're decommissioning the lines for Model S and X at that same factory, and they are saying
Yes, let's see what happened to
interest in
Tesla.
vehicles in markets with
And yes, don't forget
FSD
subscribe, give like.
approval. So Alex, now as you take a look at the reaction to these numbers
And
the
Google
numbers
went
themselves, what
down,
are your takeaways?
and right now it's
Yeah,
up.
no, I'm totally with the
It's
line
very
of
good.
thinking
Don't forget
that this
subscribe,
isn't
give
just
like.
solely an EV company.
Put
It
questions
couldn't
in
be,
chat.
for it to carry these type of price tags.
And
but
take a look. You see?
that is,
Google.
no pun intended, I
Up.
was can't think of a
It's
better
good.
word. That is the vehicle of which everything else
We bet it. We
operates,
recommend
though.
it to
And
invest in
it's
Google.
similar to the iPhone. We don't want to call Apple an iPhone
Google is
company,
up.
but
And
for
let's
it
see
to
Tesla.
monetize everything beyond that, you need the device. And the same thing goes for FSD. As far as I'm aware, they're not selling FSD technology to Toyota. They're not selling it to Ford. So you have to have the Tesla vehicle to even be a subscriber. So it starts with the car. But the other things that they're working on, this is what makes this company so fascinating, is they have the Optimus stuff that they're working on, and it sounds like
subscribe,
that's
give
starting
like
to
to
be
this
on
video.
track. The Semi and Mega
And
Pack 3
let's
remain on
discuss
schedule
Tesla
for
and Tesla
production.
report.
These are good updates, but it's still, we're talking about the future. We're not actually doing it just yet. When I look at the numbers, the one big question mark we had for the core
And
business was going to be, okay,
Google,
you're selling
Alphabet.
way more cars than you expected. You're making way more cars than we expected. But are you generating more earnings and free cash flow
Let's see
than
what's
we
happening.
expected?
Tesla
The answer is
is
no.
down.
This is a massive miss on gross margin. And you see that, and it's 16.8%.
And
So
Google?
then you say, oh, was it due to
Google is
pricing
up.
then? Well, no,
So
because
good.
they generated way
Alphabet.
more revenue than was expected.
Do you use Google
at
product?
38.24
Like right
billion
now, we
versus
use
the
YouTube.
26.3 billion. So it's not a story of,
Yeah,
they just had a
subscribe,
bunch
give
of
like.
discounts and they juiced their sales numbers. That wouldn't show up there. So you have earnings that are in line on a huge beat in revenue. It's because margins are basically a huge miss. And then you mentioned that energy storage. That's a 20% miss versus the estimate. That's nothing to sneeze at. As a company that's generating 28 billion, yeah, 3 billion isn't the most important segment, but that's 15% of its revenue, and it was a 20% miss on that segment. So you look at this and you look at it just financially. the thing that really
Let's see.
stands
So
out to
subscribe.
me is that they have negative free cash flow now. And we talked about how other companies are being scrutinized for spending their positive free cash flow. This isn't necessarily a positive update, but then you look at what was expected. In a way, it's negative, but it's a smaller negative number than's expected. So I don't know how to like, I guess, make all that match up. The street isn't super punishing the stock in the after hours, but we also know that hearing from Elon and team is really what moves this stock. So we have a good kind of snapshot of what to expect the story to be.
Let's see with Tesla.
Then it's going to be what's the rose-colored view when we hear from Elon and team.
Absolutely. I mean, that negative free cash flow you mentioned that was not as bad as expected, by the way, is $1.09 billion for the second quarter. That's the number.
Tesla is down.
Again,
Wow.
down 2.75% as we wait to hear from Elon Musk. That will happen in about 75 minutes. But I want to jump to your wild card on the week. I want to jump to ServiceNow here and take a look at these numbers because we are seeing a nice
Let's see
move to the
ServiceNow.
upside in ServiceNow of more than 3% right now as I'm looking. Q2 revenue coming in at $3.987 billion. That's better than the expectation for 3.93, also a 24% year-over-year increase. EPS coming in at 90 cents. That's beating the estimates, looking for about 86 cents, although it's up about 10% from a year ago. As far as subscription revenue, 3.877, that's a 24.5% year-over-year growth, 23% if we're looking at it on a constant currency basis, and their remaining performance obligations are standing at $13.2 billion. That is up 21% year-over-year. They also raised their guidance for subscription revenue to 15.76 to 15.78 billion, up just fractionally from the bottom part of that was 15.74. So they just raised the lower end there. Right in the estimate was for 15.74. So they've now raised the full range above the estimate. Their Q3 subscription revenue guiding to 3.975 billion to 3.98.
And let's see
That is slightly
ServiceNow.
below the estimate analysts were looking for.
Yes,
about
put
4
questions in
billion.
comments.
Even their growth was expected to be about 19.5%.
I told you, don't buy Tesla. You see Tesla is down.
Adjusted gross margins now guiding for 81%.
Google is the
which
best.
Is just slightly below the prior 81.5% guidance, and the estimate looking for 81.6.
Finally,
And
Google is
yet
up.
we are now up more than 5%. So, Alex, what did ServiceNow say right here? Because we know we don't
Technology
like
is
when
up.
we show any adjustment to the margins to the downside.
Yeah, I think that there's probably enough here that I think the big headline tomorrow is going to be better
342.
than feared. But
Okay,
I don't
subscribe,
think
give like
it
video.
changes the
See you next
questions
video.
for
Bye-bye.
ServiceNow, and it certainly doesn't change them for the industry. Like,